Welcome to What's Up at the Weill Center. I'm Bill Fisher, the Executive Director, and today we have a special show for you. Not only are we going to share a clip of a great show we have coming April 15th to the Weill Center, we're also going to do a walking tour of the Weill Center, go places that no man or woman has ever gone before. Well, at least a few. But first, let's take a look at Fred Garbo and the Inflatable Theater Company coming to the Weill Center on April 15th.
Do you like your show on Broadway?
Oh, it's fantastic. Fresher is so good.
Would you please welcome from South America, Diana Samus.
It won't be Broadway, but it will be just the greatest show at the Weill Center on April 15th, 3 o'clock matinee for Fred Garbo and the Inflatable Theater Company. The clip you just saw is the same show you're going to see at the Weill Center. Now let's go on that tour. So follow me. Hi, welcome to the Weill Center. I'm just coming out of our business offices that are right next to the theater, located at 830 North 8th Street. If you've ever driven down 8th Street, you've probably seen the marquee of the Sheboygan Theater, which is now the Weill Center. We have our events, our coming events up on the billboard. We have lots of signage on the outside of the theater. And if you've never been inside, let's go ahead and go in. Let's go check it out. We also have a number of buildings that are part of the Weill Center right now. Some of them are being used, some of them are not being used. But the historic theater is at 826 North 8th Street. These are our main entrance doors. This is where you go in when you come to a show. So I'm going to go in and we'll see what we have. Oh, that's right. When there's no show, these doors are locked. So you might wonder, well, how do I get tickets and how do I come visit the Weill Center when there's no show? Follow me, I'll show you our ticket office. Just one short step down to the entrance to our ticket office, which is right here next to the main entrance doors and underneath our marquee. And the Weill Center ticket office is open from 10 to 5, Monday to Friday. And any show in this theater, usually there are tickets inside this door for us. So let's go on in and see what they got. So here we are, inside the Weill Center ticket office. We have lots of posters, lots of signage, brochures, and then we have our window here, where our ticket office actively sells tickets from Monday to Friday, 10 to 5 p.m., and 2 hours before any of our shows. They're very busy, and we like it that way. Once you have your tickets, when you come to the show, you either go through the glass doors that we just saw, or if you're picking up tickets, we have our will call window here, and then you pick up your tickets and enter into the theater through this door. Okay, so we're entering the theater, and like I said, if you have your tickets already, then you come through our glass doors, but if you're picking them up, we'll call you come to the ticket office like I just showed you. You'll be greeted by a nice volunteer usher who will tear your tickets, tell you about some information about the show or what you might want to know, pick up a playbill or a program for the show, maybe some raffle tickets, who knows. There's always something going on when you come into the theater. Over here we have our coat check. Because we're in Wisconsin, winters, you can always gladly check your coat so you don't have to take it into the theater. We try to maintain the theater at a nice comfortable level for you when you come to one of our shows. As you walk through our lobby, the historic lobby, there's a number of things that you'll notice right away. The chandeliers, the ceiling, all of this is restored to the original manner that it was built in 1928. It's not a very big lobby, but it is very historic and a beautiful setting for any type of event, and people like to socialize before the shows. Let's go down and take a look at the theater. Now, if you are handicapped or in a wheelchair, there is access down these stairs, and I'm going to take you to that access, but most people will just go down the stairs into the theater. That access is this elevator. This elevator also services our dressing rooms upstairs and our basement downstairs, which holds a lot of our light, sound, and other equipment that we have in the theater. As you come into the theater, we have our main entrance. Believe it or not, this is one of the rare theaters in the country, historic theaters in the country, that you don't enter from the back of the theater. You actually enter from the side. Very nice for the seating because the seating is laid out all right in front of you, some to your left, some to your right, so you don't get big bottlenecks as people come in the back of a theater, which is traditionally where you would come into a historic theater like this. Now, we could go in and take our seats, but I want to show you the balcony and some other areas so that when you're ready to come to the Weill Center and take your seat, you know where everything is. So as we walk up this side hallway, we have a lot of recognition, a lot of people to thank for this building being restored. They're all listed on these posters, sharing the vision, our memberships, our seat program, our supporting cast, and our stars. We'll tell you about the stars here when we get to the balcony, but every donor to this campaign that restored this beautiful building is listed somewhere on those boards. And finally, we have a board back here, the endowment board, that recognizes those people that have helped us maintain the theater through the years by giving a gift to our endowment. As you come through the back of the theater, right now the curtains are open into the theater, and one thing you might notice is that we do not have doors that close the lobby from the theater. So when we open the front doors of the theater, we are open to the public to go all the way into the theater. So we try to make sure that the acts are ready to go when we open the main doors to the theater, because you are welcome into this theater as soon as you walk through those glass doors. We have a concession stand. This is our east concession stand. We have started to allow you to take drinks into the theater so you can enjoy them at your seat during a show on most shows. But also there's a small amount of space back here if you want to socialize and have your drinks back here. Again, the interior of the theater is historically restored. Much of what you see was the way it was in 1928. As you move back toward the rear of the theater, you will see our light and sound positions. This is where the technicians run the shows. They'll close these curtains during the show, but a lot of work of a show goes on right back here so you can hear and see the show the way it was intended to be enjoyed. We come to our grand balcony stairs. Again, beautiful lobby space restored to the way it was in 1928. Unfortunately, they didn't have an elevator in the theater in 1928, and they still do not have an elevator to take you to the balcony. So we are going to take a little hike up the stairs and get you a view of the balcony and, most importantly, our roof, our ceiling, which has the stars on it. Oh, as we're coming up, oh, you beat me upstairs. Okay, well, as we come up the stairs, it's not that bad, and the view is fantastic from up here. But we also, on this side, have a concession stand for if we do have a show. It is a sold-out house. We want to make sure that everyone is able to enjoy their concessions without a lot of delay. Now, we do have a liquor license at the Weill Center, just so you know. We serve water, soda, beer, wine, mixed drinks, and occasionally we'll do some special treats. But the theater has had that for quite a while, and really, like most theaters, want you to enjoy the show. Not only the show, but enjoy some a beverage or a drink with the show. And we have one little set of stairs to get to the balcony left from that mezzanine level, and we are up in the balcony now where we have almost 300 seats up here. Some of the finest seats in the building are in this first 3 rows of the balcony. A lot of theaters, that's called the loge. We just call it the front row of the balcony and the front seats of the balcony, and it's a wonderful place to see a show where you really want to see the depth. And actually, right now, we're offering these seats, all these seats up here, no matter what show it is, for $20.12. They're discounted because we want people to experience the balcony because it's a great place to see our shows. We have a light and projection booth up here where we show some of our movies from, and the feature that most people are drawn to in the balcony is our ceiling, because there's a full array of stars. Every constellation is up there, and donors have named those stars for people, in memory of people, and it's a wonderful atmospheric feature to the theater. And when the lights are down and you're sitting up here in the balcony and you're watching or waiting for a show, you actually feel like you're outdoors on a summer evening with the stars twinkling, not a cloud in the sky. So as we move across the balcony, you'll see we have 3 sections up here. So like I said, there's a lot of seats up here. All have good views. And as you come across more to the center, you can see the entire stage. And then there's another exit on the other side. So as I said, no elevator access, but certainly a group of great seats for any show. And right now, $20.12 for those shows, because we're in the year 2012. So, we're coming out of the balcony on the opposite side now, the west side, and we've got another set of stairs to come down. But again, there's a lot of room here for people when they go to exit, and very, again, beautiful space to be in. Now, one thing I didn't point out as we were going by is the number one asked question when somebody comes into the theater for the first time is, where are your bathrooms, or where are the restrooms? We have several restrooms. We have a set at the end of this hallway. We have sets up in the balcony that we went by, and then there's also bathrooms in the main lobby as we came in. We have another concession stand on the west side of the theater, just like the one on the east side. Again, allowing us to serve as many people as would like to have their drinks with the show. We're coming into the theater from the right side, and this is the furthest point you can be downstairs away from the theater. And if you look at the view from me to the theater, if you were sitting in this seat, let's say, you're not that far. So really, it is an intimate theater. We have a little less than 1,200 available seats, and not one of them is more than this distance away from the stage. Where I really want to take you is places you've never been, even if you've been here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to walk through the theater, and I'm going to show you backstage. I'm not going to show you how to get there, though, because that would be revealing trade secrets. Actually, I don't want to show you where I'm coming from, but this is now backstage, and some of you might know where that door was, but that's okay. We're now where no man has gone before. Now, actually, all the actors, musicians, they've all been here, but welcome to the backstage of the Weill Center. One thing you might notice, it doesn't look like it was built in 1928, because it wasn't. This is the new part of the restoration. We restored the theater, but the buildings on either side were rehabbed, renovated, and made into a backstage for the Weill Center. We have a green room over here, which hosts the production people that come in. They have some food and drink in here. They relax in here before the show, and we're right off the stage right. We also have sets of bathrooms back here, again, for the actors, the musicians, the people actually putting on the show for you, so that they have very convenient ways of getting ready. Our dressing rooms we'll take you to in a little bit, but they're up above us. They're upstairs from here. Now, if you come from the green room and this backstage area, you're coming right onto stage, what we call stage right, because we're the right side as you stand on the stage. As you come through here, you'll start to see some things that you might not recognize. We have rigging, which is a counterbalance system for hanging sets and lights and props. Very theatrical, and if you've ever worked in a backstage, you know what these things do. But if you have just been an audience participant, this is probably the first time you've actually seen the mechanics of how those big sets go in and out, and how the lights are, where they're coming from. You're sitting in the audience and you're looking at the stage and you're going, where are those lights coming from? They're above, and they're all on what we call pipes that get set and focused before the show comes in. Now, presently, on the Weill Center stage, we have the orchestra shell set up. This is an acoustic shell, very aesthetically pleasing, looks very nice. You'll see this set up for the symphony when they play here, and for other musical acts. And what this shell does is it keeps the sound of the musicians from going up into this fly loft and sends it out to the audience, because most symphonic concerts or orchestra presentations, the sound you're hearing is not amplified. It is their instruments playing and their voices singing. And a lot of times it's acoustic, which means the sound is going out to you as it comes out of their mouth. It's not going through a sound system, and the shell keeps the sound from going up, because sound wants to go up, and projects it out. It can hold, I believe it's up to 100 musicians on the stage, or choral members and things like that. And we are standing on the orchestra pit now that I spoke about when we were down below. And this is basically a hydraulic lift. And we're going to show you what it does. So magically, I've got the controller, and we're going down now. It does take a little while. We use this pit to bring things from the auditorium level up to the stage level that might not be able to come in another way, but it's designed really to be an orchestra pit, which in traditional theater sense would house musicians playing to a Broadway musical or to a show. We do have a Broadway musical this year on our season where the musicians will be in the pit. It also can be utilized for extra seating. We can fit about 40 extra seats, about right here. I am now at the level of the auditorium, but that's not where it stops. There's a basement in this building, and we store things down there that we need to get up on stage. So again, this can be used for that. But also during a Broadway musical or whatever, we would want the pit to be all the way down so that the musicians' heads cannot be seen by the audience. So you can imagine how far this has to go down before I can get that, accomplish that goal. Just write it down and you can watch as I disappear into the orchestra pit. I'm gone, right?
Yeah.
So, magically I'm back up on top. I'm going to take the controller for the orchestra pit and put it down over here and really take you somewhere that not many people have been. Actually, the heavy lifters go here. But off stage left is our loading dock area. We're behind the shell right now, so it's kind of dark back here, but this is where things get stored, but it's also where things get loaded in. When you come to a big show and there's lots of set pieces, lots of props, lots of lighting, sound maybe even, it all comes through this door. As you can see, this door is very, very tall, so up to 20 feet high pieces can come through here and actually come right off a truck onto the stage. As we walk back through the loading dock area, a lot of storage back here. This is where the orchestra cell is stored. We have some lifts, we have some stairs, we have a dance floor, some wardrobe racks. But here is our stage door, loading dock door, and this is at truck level, so trucks can back up to this and roll right off the truck, right onto the stage. So again, not many people know this is here, but the heavy lifters do, because every show they're out here working to make the show happen for you. Hello, so we are now above the stage in our dressing room area. There's a stairwell in the backstage area that brings the artists up here. And as we walk through the hallway, we have 2 star dressing rooms, 2 orchestra dressing rooms, plus this nice big laundry space. It has washers, dryers, irons, towels, so sewing machines so they can fix their costumes, wash their clothes if they've been on the road for a long time. So again, we try to provide the amenities for these musicians and these artists and these actors that they would find in almost any theater. As we move down the hallway, we have some drinking fountains, and then we come to our star dressing rooms. We have a men's and a women's star dressing room. Named that because they hold basically one person. It's a private dressing room, holds one person. We'll show you what the one looks like inside. Each of them has a makeup mirror, some lights on the side, so they can get their face ready for the show, they can get their clothes ready for the show in the laundry. It has its own private bath and its own private shower. We have 2 of these, one for a male star and one for a female star. As we go down the hallway, we're getting closer to the end of the dressing room area. We have our 2 largest dressing rooms. We have a men's and a women's orchestra dressing room. It can hold up to 16 people almost. I'm going to take you inside the women's one so you can get a look at how big these really are. But when you have large bands, large groups, this is the space that they get ready in and they prepare for. They also have showers, bathrooms, and makeup mirrors and makeup positions. So again, this is all new construction, is not part of the restoration or wasn't part of what was here when it was the Sheboygan Theater in 1928. This is what turns the Sheboygan Theater into a true performing arts center where acts of any discipline, music, family, theater, dance, can come and perform for you in Sheboygan and feel like they're at home. So at the end of the dressing room hallway is another feature that's new. We tried to add things with these extra buildings that would enhance both the backstage and the front of house experience that were not part of the original Sheboygan Theater. So through this door, which is backstage, is our boardroom. It is shared by both artists and public members, in that this is a place that you can go and do a meet and greet, or have a private meeting, or we could feed the artists in here. We can lock it off from both sides, but both sides, the patrons and the audience and the artists and the performers, have access to this beautiful boardroom where you can see along the walls we have posters from previous shows, autographs from previous shows, and then the nonprofit board that is the Weill Center Foundation will occasionally meet in here, have planning sessions, budget sessions, and just an all-around very nice meeting space within the confines of the theater. We are now on the public side. You came from the artist side, now we're on the public side. And what we have here is an additional balcony to our lobby. As you come through, you'll see that we are facing 8th Street again in a very nice setting that we often use for receptions and pre- and post-show meet and greets. And you look to my left and you see 8th Street, landmark, grand stage, big window, the Sheboygan marquee. If you look to my right, what we are looking over is the balcony, is the lobby. A balcony of the lobby. Every so often they'll have maybe a musical group playing up here as you come into the theater. But again, it can be multi-use. We really look forward to someday being able to expand this area, have a bigger lobby, have a bigger balcony, which could be possible through some renovations to the north on the buildings that we own there. But again, another lovely setting of the Weill Center, and also where we're going to end today's tour. I hope you've enjoyed today's off-the-cuff tour, and we look forward to seeing you in person for a live performance on the Weill Center stage. Thanks for listening and watching today, and we'll see you next time on What's Up at the Weill Center.